All right, guys, good to be back with you once again. We're going to do another one of these videos today, and I'll tell you sort of the reason why. So the idea behind doing this is not necessarily to come up with like some change to the channel, do everything Lelujo style or whatever. We're still going to do scripted videos here. I have one coming up later on this coming week. This will probably be out on Thursday, I'm guessing, according to the schedule that I've written up. So look for that coming pretty soon. The whole idea behind this is, look, I'm going to be playing Football Manager anyway. I might as well use the time that I'm going to be playing Football Manager to, record stuff. The way that it works is that I record all the time, the game footage that I make so that it's easier to put together long form videos afterwards. And so why don't I just, use these recordings and kill two birds with one stone and put some of this stuff for you guys as a bonus. And so that's the reason why I've been doing this. I figure that also gives a good incentive for people to become subscribing, members of the channel, paying members and stuff like that. And it's a little bit fun. It's always a little bit more fun to sort of share your project and share everything with somebody else. Anyway, so if you weren't here with us last time, don't worry about it. I am going to number these just because, but the numbers are going to get pretty heavy pretty soon. I'm also hoping to do more than like one match a day. So today we're going to have two. Hopefully in the near future we can have up to three. It was a little bit hard today. I kind of ran out of time. It's because I slept in this morning. And here it is late at night. This is probably the last thing I do right before going to bed. So you should feel happy, right? Anyway, we're going to be playing against Ottoboren, which I'm supposing is probably not that far away from us here. I'm not going to worry about necessarily looking it up. They have a 3,000 seat stadium, but we're going to have like 200 people at this match, which is probably about right for something at this level. I mean, we're at, I think if I remember right, it's like the 7th tier of the German league. So yeah, nobody knows who any of these teams are. Somebody asked me once, why are you doing this way? Why not use teams that people have heard of? Well, the reason why is because it's no fun. Then you already think you know everything about the team. You think you know what's going on. It's more fun to have something that's totally, nothing and out of nowhere. Before we get into this, I'm going to show you really quick. I went over to preferences. We did go through and turn replays back on. Replays are back to the 3D engine. I decided to do that because as much fun as it is just to use the 2D engine, it's nice to be able to see a replay of something good that happens, but hopefully we'll cut it down a little bit. If you've been watching this the whole time, you know that some of the replays we've had before have been, kind of odd. The game makes some odd decisions sometimes. So there you go. It's still Football Manager. We have 8 matches played. We're in 12th place with 8 points. 8 from 8 is good when you consider that we lost our first 4 matches. We then had 2 draws, and now we are on our winning way. The last one against Bobingen was an all-time classic, so if you haven't watched it yet, you should go back and watch it. It was actually a really good match. Anyway, this is the team that they're telling me to pick. I'm going to click this again, as they're thinking we should put Echo in there. So Kutsu, who's been our big star, is really funny. Is far from being good enough for the TSV Bobingen squad, right? Yeah, right. So you go over here and you look at this. 6 appearances, 5 goals, 2 assists, 2 player of the match, and a 7.8 average rating. So what I'm going to do from here on out is Christopher Hawk's worried about match preparation, so it is. What I'm going to do from here on out is I'm going to worry more about average rating and about like whether the guy is scoring goals than I am about like what the star rating is or whatever. Because when we look at Brouwer, who has 5 stars and who's supposed to be one of the best players on the squad, and who has that acceleration and pace. I mean, this sucks for acceleration and pace, but whatever. At this level, it should be good. What has he done for us? He's had 5 appearances. I was wrong last time. Look, he does have 1 goal, 1 assist, but an average rating of 6.8. Right? So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like playing for us or something like that. Who knows? You can see we don't really have a left back or a right back. I don't really care. I brought players in based upon the different tactic that I downloaded that didn't work. So this is what we're doing now. These guys, Rausch and Yilmaz, I've said Yilmaz's name a lot actually. Where is he from? These guys, yeah, he's Turkish. Okay, so you can tell I don't really speak Turkish. It'd be a nice language to learn though. But maybe we're at the 6th level. Okay, whatever. You can tell though that I mean, whatever. These guys, they can learn how to play those positions, right? I'm not going to worry about it too much. This guy's a wing back. He can figure it out. This guy theoretically should play left back, right? He can figure it out. They'll be fine. There's nothing to worry about here. Anyway, let's just go ahead into the match before I waste any more time. And So the pre-match analysis is that Otto Boren's going to win, but we know that that's not going to be the case. We're going to be successful here. I just let the computer do whatever with that. Yes, carry straight on from the last match. I agree with that. Let's go see what we can do. So back to the beautiful 2D match engine, the 2D classic engine. I love this engine, and it's a shame that it doesn't exist anymore in Football Manager because this is a thing of beauty. I just love watching this. I didn't realize how much I loved this until I did the video on the 2D engine and started playing with like FM 2006 again, just for fun. And that's when I realized that I really missed the way that things once were. This is the way the Football Manager was meant to be played, and they should go back to it. Brouwer with the shot, and he hits the post, unfortunately. And that means it's not a goal. Now we get to see our first 3D replay. So I do have some selfish motives for wanting to see this stuff in 3D as well, because it looks a little bit better when it comes to, you know, to creating, I don't know, video or something like that after the fact, right? Is more drama, I guess, in it or something. But I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to create stuff once we're done with everything. We'll worry about that later. Right now, we're going to worry about is just playing the matches and having some fun with it. We need to get the ball back here. Mikhail does it. Over to Yilmaz again. See, this is why we need a player like Yilmaz up there, because it's a defensive role that's very attacking. We missed the shot in the end. You can see how far forward he is up here, right? Going to those forward spaces. It's exactly what we want to see happen. So Yilmaz is going way, way up there, and he ends up sort of dictating the play. And it was Kutsu with the shot that just missed. Sorry about the heater in the background, by the way. That heater is going to be a problem for me going forward. It's just a thing with this house. The heater is so loud. Ekval over to Smaik. Brouwer. And he's going to take a shot. What kind of shot was this? This is the problem that I have. I mean, yeah, it would have been some goal, you're right, but what kind of shot was that? I mean, it looks like he's not even trying. This, by the way, if you've been paying attention, this is the first match that we've had in an actual stadium. Everything before this has just been in some field somewhere. And if you think that's unrealistic, you really should actually go to this part of what do they call it? Schwabia, right? I mean, that's what it's like. You know, these teams literally are playing like in old farm fields and stuff like that. So, you know, it's not too far removed from reality. Anyway, I think that we are absolutely dominating possession for an away match, and we just can't get these set pieces to go down. If we were a little bit more accurate with our shooting, we would be winning like no other. So I'm guessing that this tactic actually works well. I think that's probably what's helping us out the most. The problems that we have are just we've had some bad luck early on in the season. Mikhail has it, and he's going the wrong way. There's Flaig. And he takes a shot, and it's actually a really good save there by their keeper. We're still creating a lot of chances for ourselves, and that's exactly what we want to see happen. So I know that some of you get really into, you know, the statistical analysis part of the game. I never know what I'm looking at. Mikhail and Smaya can't do it. Mikhail again, and he has 2 shots in a row, and he gets the second one to go in. And that was beautiful. Tim Mikhail. This is a kid that I took a chance on. He was, I think, the first kid that we brought in when we were looking for just warm bodies. And look at how beautiful these graphics are, by the way. This is a thing of beauty. Why do people not like FM 20 or FM 17 again? I don't understand, because it looks just as good as FM 26 to me. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something, right? Maybe you can point out which part I'm missing. Kutsu with a chance and just can't get there in time. So we've seen a lot of action here in the first half so far. This is a pretty big contrast to the earlier match today. Kutsu again, down to Brouwer. Brouwer looking for, it's a thread it through. Smayak to Flaig. Back to Sander. Brouwer, Mikhail. And we work it around again. There's Kutsu to Smayak. Pass it again. And that's a foul called on Fostos. And he's going to get carded here, I'm convinced of that. Nope, he just gets a talking to, that's it, so he gets off lightly. And it's Brouwer again wasting an opportunity. So, you know, if we could just get this guy to score, if we could get him to shoot something that's actually on target, it would be much better. He has the right idea. I think he has some of the skills. Maybe we're supposed to train it into him or something like that. I don't know. You can tell I'm not necessarily the most hands-on coach in the world. I'm not sure why I can't shorten that. Well, whatever. And we have the ball once again, looking for it in an attacking position. We can't quite get it there. And now it's the counterattack that's got us. Fuka with an excellent save, and they keep it in. Fortunately, that was a pass, not a shot, I think. And Rausch is there, but he gives up a corner. That's a really poor play there by Rausch. So 1-0, we have the lead. That would put us up to 12th in the league. And here at halftime, I think that things are going just fine. The one that I'm kind of watching out for here is Ekvel, who looks like he's about to fall apart. I think we'll put Polychronis Vergos in there, and we'll see what we can do with him, since he seems to be a little bit more with it. Let's just see what happens. One of the things you'll notice here too is that, I don't have the assistant manager bothering me as much as you remember back in, it was like FM23, FM24. This has been, one of those post FM17 innovations to the game where the assistant bugs you about all sorts of stuff. It doesn't happen as much here. Smythe, you do get it sometimes. Yilmaz, and that was close. Power with it there. See, Yilmaz in an attacking position again, which is interesting for someone who's playing left back. Rausch. I'm guessing that this has some sort of like the equivalent of what later became overlapping set up. Kutsu right there, and he just can't turn around with it. Sander back to Bauer. And Özkul, and there it is. Mustafa Özkul, I think that's his first goal of the season. That's right, and that's his first goal for us. He was one of the players that came in with us automatically when this was created, and we have a 2-0 lead. And might I remind you that this team we're facing they're like 4th or 5th or something like that in the league. Boy, that's a pretty shot. That's a really pretty shot. Wow, my goodness. We've seen some amazing goals in this match so far. So the match before was the great comeback by us, and this one shows a lot of quality. And I think we've got something going here. I really do. I think this is going to be a long-term save. And after the start that we have, it's going to be a great story. Kutsu. Oh, what a move, and just can't get that across, but boy, that was a beautiful move, and I'm telling you, this is going to be great. We have a lot of steps to go forward with here in this save before we can say that we're done. I mean, we're going to have to build up a stadium and refine it, and we're going to have to move up from one part of the league to the next. It's going to be a lot of fun, so I hope you're happy to be here for the long run. Sander, and he's foul. That's another cynical foul. Give him a card. This referee's a little bit more lenient. So we haven't gone down to 10 men yet. That's been our tradition. Bauer to Flaig. Bauer again over to Kutsu. Flaig. Smythe. Move forward. See, we do have, I think it's Kutsu over there. And it was Bauer there taking another one of those shots from range. One of these days those are going to go in, and then he's going to shut me up. But until then, I'm going to be his biggest critic. I mean, it looks nice, the setup that we have, but Bauer here needs to be a little bit less eager to just sort of like throw something up and see if it falls. I feel like I'm watching, a wannabe Steph Curry trying to, shoot the ball from anywhere. That's just what it feels like watching him. So about 20 minutes left in this match. I think that we have this mostly, under wraps, but you never know when you're at this level and, you don't have any money and all this other stuff, some really weird stuff happens. I love, by the way, the goal updates that come in there on the upper right side of the screen. There's just so much going on. They did such a good job, and there's so much polish in this game. Yilmaz. Sander Defai. I'm probably pronouncing some of the Turkish names wrong, so you guys can correct me, those of you who are more expert when it comes to this stuff. Sander Defai. Bauer. Pass. Smythe to Kutsu. Mikhail. Kutsu gets back into position. When you watch him, you can see the excellence that he displays with Mikhail with the shot. And we force a corner. Mikhail came very, very close to scoring there. There was another one off the post. Wouldn't it be amazing if he had another goal? Like I said, the guy was, the game told me he had a potential rating of maybe 3 stars, and I thought, well, we need someone to be our midfielder. And he's been just amazing for us so far. He's really been one of the great success stories on this squad. Just some kid that I randomly picked up. I mean, isn't that great? So here you go. It's a real positive video here today for you. This is one to make you feel good. It was good that Rausch was able to get in front of that one. I criticized Rausch a little bit earlier for a mistake that he made, but that time he did well. The other thing I'll point out is that I don't have any of the like official insignia or whatever put in. I did at first with the save, and when we had problems with the thing crashing once, I ended up taking that away. So we don't have any custom graphics or anything put in here. You might notice that, especially when we go up in the league. I really don't think that it matters that much. I care more about the story than I do about like exactly how the graphic looks or whatever. Burgos, Sander, this is the end. This is the end. This is a good victory by us, and this is more along the lines of how we were expected to play at the beginning of the season. And this hopefully should shut the media up for a while. I mean, they haven't mounted much of an attack at all. This is an away match, and we have 60% of the possession. We have 19 shots, 7 shots on target, and the 2 goals. And there it is. We've emerged victorious. Nobody thought that we could do it, and we did an excellent job with this match. Absolutely perfect. So they're saying that Brouwer was one of the men to make a difference. I don't know if he really made that much of a difference in the match, but he still got the 7.8 rating, which is pretty good. Did a heck of a lot better than Idea, who had a 6.7 and did nothing. But it was Mustafa Özkul who ends up being our player of the match with the 20 interceptions and with the goal that he scored. And boy, I tell you, after all of the frustration that we had earlier in the season, after all of the worry that we had, after me talking about, I don't know if we're going to make it, I don't know if it's going to last that long or whatever, this one really makes me feel good. This one makes me feel like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I know how to play Football Manager. I know what this is all about, right? So this was hopefully you enjoy watching this. This is a good match. I've said this before on the channel. It's been a long time since I've done this sort of thing, but, I don't do what like Lalujo does. I'm not going to play a whole bunch offline and then just show you little clips or whatever, I'm going to show you all the matches. I'm going to let you sort of experience this yourself. And then when it's time to really put things together, maybe end of the season or when we have some sort of storyline or something, then I'll make a video that we can all sit down and enjoy and watch and kind of, get a better feel for what the save's about. And we'll do a whole bunch of those and we'll, string them together and I don't know. We'll make something happen. We'll make it up as we go, and we'll do it different than everyone else. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I won't keep you any longer. Thanks for watching. If you like this, if you want to see more videos like this, consider becoming a channel member, and you get access to all of these. I'm going to do multiple a day, assuming that I end up making time. And it's not a question of having it. It's a question of making the time. So anyway, more philosophy later on. I'll talk to you later. Take care.